Hello, it's Simon. How are you? I'm in a new studio. There are windows. It's so much better. Hold the phone. This year, I've decided to up my online video and streaming game for a few reasons. One of them being I'm planning to run some live sessions with my Notion template community, but most excitingly because I want to try out some online video podcast interviews. This is a tour of my full creative desk setup that I've put together to do it and how I'm using it all alongside today's partner Riverside for the perfect online interview setup. In this video, we'll do a tour of my new over-the-top creative desk setup upgrades that might just be the ultimate plug-and-play setup for podcasting, video calls, and YouTube. But make sure you also get subscribed here for my next video in the series on how to make a brilliant budget setup for better video calls and podcasting, which I actually use at my work desk over there. Let me know what you make of Riverside and my setup in the comments below as you watch, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to make it better. So first up, this is the goal, to create a full audio and video setup that is super high quality, but ultimately plug and play to minimize that friction to get started. I've created two versions, one at my work desk over there, and this one that just sits at this simple standalone Ikea table with all the gear on wheels. Full studio mode. So the tech is the combination though, isn't it, of the hardware, that's the physical bit, but first we need the software. And after a lot of searching, I stumbled on Riverside, and it's got to be the GOAT of podcasting. The great thing is, they've partnered with me. Riverside started as a podcasting platform, but has become the kind of one-stop shop for creating reliable and high-quality remote interviews and content, whether you're capturing audio, video, or both. The main headline is that Riverside records locally on all the devices involved and then compiles the results so that you always get the best quality. What I didn't expect, though, was all the other features I've been using. It turns out it's also great for solo recording, captioning existing material, and even AI clip repurposing when you want to turn your longer form content into shorts. So as a creator, it's the perfect match for me. What I've been excited to see come out though in the last month are things like their live studio, where you're able to stream directly from Riverside to multiple social platforms as well as recording on your device. So if you want to join me as well on Riverside, then make sure you click my link in the description to go to riverside.fm/bettercreating and get 15% off. I'll give you a quick demo of how Riverside works in a little bit, but first it's time to show you my full podcasting setup in three categories: sound and audio, video and lighting, and those computer peripherals that make the difference. It's really my YouTube studio, interview setup, and optional workspace all in one. Bring on the Frankenrig. These two trolleys, or stands, are the things that make it work. So what you're looking at now is the Frankenrig. You can see the bottom. And from these wide shots, you'll see essentially on this really heavy duty stand, I've done what a lot of YouTubers have done in the past, which is build an all-in-one rig. Sandbag at the bottom, power cable, so it's one cord that goes to power the whole lot. And this is an Ikea trolley. It takes the laptop that plugs into the monitor if I want to be doing video calls, or whether I want to be doing kind of sharings, showing what I'm doing on the computer. And this will just align with the desk and act like a normal desk setup when I want it to. Under here, I've got a couple of batteries, wires that I'm going to need, some filters, and then down the bottom, I've got various bits of grip and tape as I'll need it, some clips if I want to use them. And this is so helpful just to set up, wheel it out the way when I need to, and I can film with or without a screen. Really cool. This is the new sound gear that I've invested in this year. There are two mics for two different outcomes that I've got. I've got the SM7B, the classic of podcasting, sitting at the back there on that Wave Elgato boom arm. So that's for that really detailed, crisp broadcasting sound when you want it and if you want that in front of you. But I've also got this, and this is probably the biggest investment I've ever made in gear in terms of a single item. This is the Sennheiser MKH50, and after a lot of research, I discovered it really was the GOAT for broadcasting vocals, and specifically lots of YouTubers, film sets actually use this. It's a little bit more expensive than a lot of the others, but you buy it once and it lasts forever. It's been around for ages. What it's great for is it's a pencil condenser, which means that it's really rejecting a huge amount of sound from the sides, and I just think it sounds brilliant. I really noticed the difference in my videos when I used it. So there's those two options, both of which go through XLR cables into this, and this is the kind of center of my system, the Rodecaster Duo. There is a Rodecaster Pro, a huge thing that many people love using. It's kind of been a go-to for podcasters, 4 to 6 channels on there. I'm not going to go into loads of details about this, but what's amazing about it is it's got presets for specific mics, so I can actually have presets for the SM7B on there. I can set all my levels, control them differently. And this is an attenuator cable. Essentially what it's doing is turning a line out from the Rodecaster into a mic into the camera, meaning you can get clean audio. So this means if I want to, I just record on the camera and all of the sound is baked into the footage. It's really, really powerful. But of course, you also have that record button on the Rodecaster Duo, which will allow you to record even better sound on their amazing system. Even better, it's a backup. So if I'm recording on, say, Riverside, I can do a backup recording on the Rodecaster if I want to get that. The Sennheiser is mounted on a Insta360 invisible selfie stick, and then there's a kind of small rig clamp which is connecting it all together. It means I can kind of essentially extend it out and reach wherever I need to do. And this whole rig then will roll around and basically I can film anywhere in the studio on a single power cable. Amazing. Behind us is a bunch of oak Acupanel from the Wood Veneer Co. I love this stuff. I think it makes the studio look great and smell good. But most of all, it's sat onto felt, and those panels essentially really beautifully dampen the sound from the felt and by stopping sound bouncing around. I love that. I've got a rug down below me. Those two things have made this a really lovely place to record. I've got an impact extension arm onto the main rig with a little extender that comes up off an old desk mount, and then I've mounted it onto this per gear tripod head. On top of that, you've got the Desview Teleprompter, I'll link it below, which is actually a really great investment. I used to make my own, but I've now added this. And then onto that is another tripod mount with my Fuji X-H2S mounted there with the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 lens, a really great budget lens. I also use a 13mm 1.4 from Viltrox, which I love on this when I want a wider angle. I can pop an iPad or a phone on here to run a teleprompter app. I use Prompt Smart, and yeah, it all sits together. So that's for YouTube videos, but if you're going to be doing interviews and some podcasting, this is just where I put a mirrored view of my screen and I'm able to look the guest right in the eye. Lighting wise, up here I've got the Amaran 200XS, which is a really nice bi-colour light. I've got the Light Dome SE permanently mounted up there onto the system, and it all plugs in down into the bottom of this stand. That's sound, video and light. The final thing we need to look at is the computer peripherals. Well, I'm using the BenQ 4K PD2725U monitor. It's a plug and play monitor on a trolley, really. And when it comes to the desk peripherals, well, I love this Microsoft Arc 2 mouse. I talk about it all the time. But this is the light mode keyboard I've been testing recently from fellow YouTuber Ali Abdul, and it's pretty good. I love the size and aesthetics of it, which is, to be honest, why it's on the desk with me right now. And Ali took a fair bit of flack for this from keyboard experts, but I think it's a pretty successful offering overall. I like the sound, other than the space bar, but I think that could be improved with some tape on the inside. The typing experience is nice, and I love that he has both pound and dollar signs on here on the function row. Check them out if you like the look of them. It offers Bluetooth and wired connection, and I think they're pretty cool. Now, another cool thing I can do at this setup is I can plug in my iPad using the Orion app and a cheap capture card. This one's from Germok via the HDMI into my camera, and I've got myself a super quick and easy monitor. So rather than spending 500 quid on a camera monitor, I just use the iPad I've owned for 4 years. Nice. And as for the desk chair, well, you regular viewers might be happy to hear that I have finally invested in a proper one. Well, two, in fact. These are really great replicas of the Eames E117 office chairs, and they're from Sohnne, who make amazingly affordable but high quality, wonderfully accurate versions of some iconic furniture. All the materials are super premium, the finish is good, and for the mid-century design, they're actually super adjustable, supportive and functional seating, which is rather good because it looks great on camera. Really big win for me. I'm a big fan. Check out Sohnne in the links in the description if you like the look of these. So this is the full setup, but unless we can plug it into a system that we trust to really make it easy to speak to people online, it doesn't really work. So let me show you the exciting bit, how to easily get professional level remote video calls and podcasting done with Riverside. It's genuinely the fastest high quality video podcast I've seen. So first, we would sign into our Riverside account and you'll end up with this view. These are some of the recordings I've done in the past. First of all, we're going to go into our studio. Now you'll see I've got the wrong camera here. So if I click in here, I want to select my Fuji camera and we should see, there you go, the other camera off to the left of the one that you're on. And I would like the mic to be my Rodecaster. What's cool with this is I can select duo chat, which is designed for this kind of chat rather than just straight stereo. It will stop a feedback loop happening. And then for speakers, always use headphones. I'm going to select my headphones, pop these in. They should turn up and connect. There they are. So everything is now connected. I can say that I am using headphones, and this is the view that guests get when they do it as well. And I just join the studio. And there you go, you can see a view of what we're doing. And what's great is I can control my audio volume here. I'm able to do echo cancellation if I want to. And there we go, we're all ready to go. Now, once my guests have arrived, simply invite them like this. Or if you wanted to, you can set them up. I did this with Colin earlier. I just went into plan recording, and you can even invite them to record. You can do it with Google Calendar, or you can schedule a recording like so. There it is, and then I can kind of go to that studio and so on and so forth. So let's join Colin on this video call. So Colin's here, let him in. Hi Colin, how are you doing? Welcome to Riverside.
Awesome, doing really well, Sam. Good to see you.
I am on my super over-the-top setup. The screen is here, but I've got a teleprompter with my iPad mirroring this screen, so I can look you in the eyes on the teleprompter. What are you recording on?
I'm just on a MacBook Pro, so it's really easy for me. It's super simple. I got your one screen right here. I can see everything really easy. Got a little bit of display on the right-hand side, but then get to see you front and center as well. Yeah.
How did you find logging onto the system?
It's as easy as joining any other virtual meeting. I mean, I got the email, clicked the invite, just put in my name, and then said, yes, I'm using headphones.
And it's working brilliantly, do you know what I mean? So there's a load of AI tools to improve sound. I've got a load of controls. I can like adapt your level compared to mine. Well, thank you for coming on the call. It's been really good. And I'm gonna now edit this and show people the results.
Perfect, sounds good, man.
The recording is done, it all uploads, and here it is. I can click in and then I can edit it. Once you've edited everything and you're happy with it, you can just go to export and you can select the quality you want to export to, remove a watermark if you're in a pro account, and I can just click export. And down here, we will see all of our exports. So if you have any questions about this setup or Riverside, make sure to drop me a comment below and I'll come back to you. And don't forget to use my link below, riverside.fm/bettercreating to get 15% off. But whilst we've got your video and audio game on point now, what about your daily working desk setup? Well, if you want to get your workspace set up perfectly for both productive and stylish working, watch one of these videos next because, well, I think you'll like them. Click on my face to get subscribed here, of course, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.